Hi, and welcome to Smart Beach Investors Weekly Real Estate Update for Florida's Emerald Coast. This is where we take a look at the vital market statistics, looking for trends and anything that will tell us where prices are headed in the short term and even the long term. Then we offer a little bit of analysis that will help you determine whether you should buy, sell, or hold your property. All right? That's what we do. I'm John Moran. I am the CEO and founder of Keller Williams Realty's At the Beach team and Smart Beach Investor. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to fall. Thanksgiving right around the corner. We like that. Christmas, totally cool. We like that. New Year's. And then we're running into 2024. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. But what's going on right now in our real estate market? Here's what's going on. Okay, the thought that comes to my mind anyway, staying power. That's everything, right? I talked to a lot of realtors that are freaking out because the number of transactions is so down, okay? They're way down. And that's part of it all, right? Stay in the game. Learn your market. Know what's going on with the stats. Talk to your people so you know what they're trying to get done, right? And be really good at your job. You'll be fine. That's what we're talking to realtors about. What we're talking to owners about. What we're talking to you about is this. It's the same thing. Staying power. Is the market going to stay up in terms of prices? I don't know. We got really high mortgage rates. We have low number of buyers playing the game of buying right now. We got high cost to own. These are all hard things, right? You throw in the Middle East and the oil and it's hard. It's hard right now to expect prices to go up. Will they go down? They might go down. We're starting to see it. I'll give an example. Aerial Dunes in Destin. I don't know if you know it. They're 2 buildings, 2 towers, a lot of units. But we're seeing the number of listings go up. And we're seeing prices starting to come down. Yep. The actual closed transactions are down, the price. We just took a listing at a lower than they wanted price to list because the prices are going down. Is this an outlier? Is this going to be the case for all condos from Panama City, 30A in Destin, Fort Walton Beach? I don't know. Too soon to tell, but I do know in this case that inventory supply is going up and that's causing prices to come down. Interesting, right? So staying power. If you're an owner and you can ride this stuff out, because markets go up, markets go down. All right? We happen to be in either a flat or down cycle, or we're about to enter one. Staying power. Stay in power. If you can stay in it for 5 years, 3 years, 7 years, some number of years, you'll be fine. We're going to take a look at that. If you're going to not stay in it for very long, if you don't want the hassles of writing it out, if you don't want to deal with all that, well then, run. Get out. Okay? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the first thing we look at, our market vitals, prices. Let's take a look at what happens. Let's start with Destin Condos. Here's what staying power is. Take a look at this. In 1993, 30 years ago, median sales price for a condo, $97,000. And look how that thing just kept going up. $97,000, $205,000, $275,000, $325,000. Those are all good increases, 5-year increments. But then in 2008, we saw a fallback. And it went from $325,000 to $199,900. Ouch, right? Staying power. It dropped from 2008 to 13. And then in 2018, it jumped up to $290,000. Staying power from 2008 to 18. That's 10 years of staying power. But then from 18 to 23, it jumped to $525,000. That's a massive jump up. People, this is classic staying power. Buy and hold. That's what you do. Let's take a look at Destin Area median home sales. Same thing there. Well, let's take a look. Look at this. 1993, 105. Golly, I wish I would have bought every house I could find. Up, 171.9, 285, to 321, 385. Then it jumped to 520, and now look at it, it's $1 million. Yeah, staying power wasn't as much of an important factor with median sales prices for Destin homes. It seemed to have a regular run. Now this last 18 to 2023, that's a big jump. That might make me a little bit nervous that we won't see a little bit of a fallback. But watch your market vitals, inventory, price, days on market, mortgage costs, things like that. We'll watch them for you, but that's what you really need to watch for. But here, staying power, you just stay in the game and you'll see prices go up. Classic, buy and hold. What about 30A condos? Let's take a look at what's going on with 30A condos over time. 1993, let's start there. $83,000 for a condo. Golly, amazing. I wish I would have bought them all. And then it jumps, 188, nice. 424, keep going, 485. Okay, that's a good run up, all right? But again, then we saw a fallback. Classic buy and hold, staying power kicks in here. It dropped from 485 to 320, okay? But if you stayed in it, by 2018, the reward was back and you're up to 515, and now it's 960. Again, this is a buy and hold strategy being rewarded. Staying power. I can't say it enough. If you're in it for the long haul, if you have staying power, you'll be rewarded. If you don't want to hang out, it might be 10 years. 5 years is pretty safe. 10 years is really safe. Staying power. If you don't have it, run. Okay? Give us a shot. We can help you out. That's what we do. How about houses on 30A? What are they doing? You need staying power there? Let's take a quick look. Yeah. 1993, $161,000 was the median price for a house on 30A. $272, $425. Do I hear more? Yes. $697 by '08. That's a good steady run up. Except, right? We had a big crisis, the bank failures and all that stuff, the subprime lending hits, and we saw prices fall back. $569 in 2013. Staying power. You had to stay in it from '08 to 18, not quite 10 years because it went up, but yeah, you got to be able to stay in the game, people, if you're going to play this investing game right. It jumped to 761 in 18, and now look at, you're almost $1 million up, 900,000 up on that. Amazing, all right, but that's a big jump. I'm a little nervous as we move forward that we're not going to come back a little bit. Stay tuned on that. But again, this is buy and hold personified on these prices. If you have staying power, you'll be rewarded. If you're not in the game, and that's cool, not everybody wants to stay in it, then you should get out. Get out now while we know the prices are high, because the likelihood is we're probably going to see some give back here in the coming weeks, months, year. Pay attention. Watch here. We'll watch it for you. How about Panama City? Let's see what's going on with them. Are they following the same type of pattern? Let's take a look. Panama City Beach condos. What's going on with them? Let's go back and look. 1998, 100 grand, 105,000 got you a condo in 1998. Okay? Then it jumped 175. That's a nice jump. 270. Boom. Nice little stair steps going on there. But again, subprime mortgage thing hits, the whole world gets hurt, and prices come back down to 195. All right? And then in 2018, you're at 245. Not quite all the way back. You need staying power if you're going to own and invest in condos and successfully invest. Buy and hold works here because by 2023, the reward is back in a big way. You're up to 4.25 as the median sales price for a condo in Panama City. I mean, that's a huge jump. If you buy and hold, you will be rewarded. Now, keep in mind, you're collecting rent through that whole time, and I think you're probably doing pretty well with that as well. But staying power, I can't hammer it enough. If you buy and hold over time, you'll be rewarded. If you don't want to buy and hold, then you should sell now. Give us a shout. info@smartbeachinvestor.com. We'll get you clear on what's going on, what your options are, and then you can decide what you need to do. All right, let's take a look at the houses in Panama City Beach. What's going on with them? Let's take a look at Panama City Beach houses. The same thing here. Let's take a look. 1996, median price for a house in Panama City Beach, $92,500. Nice. Man, I wish I would have bought a bunch then. Okay, but then where'd they go? 5 years later, they're up to 133. 5 years later, 300,000. So in 10 years, they went from 92 to 300. That's nice, but Here's where the staying power comes in, people. Here's where the staying power, buy and hold. In 2011, they were down to 180. Right? 2016, they're climbing 242. Buy and hold, staying power, buy and hold, staying power. But if you did, you're up to 400 by 2021. You got your money back and you're up 30%. And if you still held it now in 2023, you're up to 518. So again, buy and hold, staying power plays out in Panama City Beach with the median sales price for houses. It's the way it is. So there you are with prices. Clearly identify a buy and hold, a staying power is rewarded, play the long game. All that stuff is rewarded for those playing the long game. Again, if you're not playing the long game, if you don't want to stay in it for that length of time, subject yourself to some of the headaches that go with that, well, then you should sell now while we know prices are high, while we know what we can do for you, all right? Because who knows? By all accounts, we're expecting prices to soften here as we move forward, all right? So that's what's going on with that. What else are we looking at? How about mortgage rates? What's the story there? If you look at mortgage rates, take a look at this. This is the history of mortgage rates going back to the early 70s. I would argue the same staying power comes into play here. If you look at the mortgage rates in the 70s, they were pretty, they went up a little bit, a little down, a little up, a little down. But then in the late 70s, early 80s, we saw them just skyrocket, right? When they jumped up to 19%, as Paul Volcker, the chairman of the Fed back then, was charged with breaking inflation. And that's what he had to do. Mortgage rates went up to 19%. And then since 1981, we've seen a steady decline in mortgage rates, all right? So if you played the long game, you were rewarded. You were rewarded handsomely. And you just stick with that. Now, lately, we've seen the rates come up, no doubt, right? They've come up dramatically. And he's trying to break those interest rates. So I would anticipate higher rates still, even though it's slowed down lately. I would expect higher rates as we move towards the end of the year here, and maybe in the first part of next year. So again, the mortgage rates, looking at this, tells me buy and hold. You'll be rewarded. Let's take a look at this too. This is really interesting. I'm wondering, are people going to continue to move to Florida? Are people moving to Florida even? Well, let's take a good look. This is interesting. Take a look at these stats. Very cool. From July of 2021 to July of 2022, recently, Florida's population grew 1.9%. That's the fastest of any state in the country. Okay, so folks are coming to Florida. We knew that. You can see by the cars. Okay, next, Florida's population has grown every year since 1946. That's interesting, right? Now, they say that the past does not guarantee future performance, but geez Louise, every year since 1946, that's a pretty good indicator that things are going to continue to go up, right? People move to the state. That's a demand. Prices going to go crazy? Yeah, I think so. Looking forward, okay, the next 5 years, here's what they're predicting. Population growth going up, 817 people a day. That's a lot. That's a lot. Or a 1.28% increase, which is equal to what? The size of Orlando. Not quite as big as Orlando, but bigger than St. Petersburg. Every year, people coming, prices are going. People coming, prices going. That's the way it is, right? Okaloosa County population, let's look closer to home. 2010 to 2021, up 18%. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Walton County population increased 2010 to 2021, 45%. Boom. That's a lot. That's a lot of folks coming to Walton County. All right. I looked at Bay County, which is a little softer than all that. But if you look at Panama City Beach, right? Panama City Beach, 136.6% up. Folks are moving to Panama City Beach. All right. Prices, demand, prices, demand, prices, demand. That's what's going on, right? So what does all this tell me? It tells me that folks still want to come to Florida, and they're going to continue to want to come to Florida, and that's going to have a massive impact on demand, put massive pressure on supply and prices. That's what that means. So what is the takeaway from all this? What do we know from all of this? Here's what we know. Here's what we know. Buy and hold, staying power. gets rewarded, okay? We know that. We've seen that in the prices. We've seen that in the mortgage. We've seen that with the number of people coming to Florida. We've seen that. Very good. Buy and hold, staying power gets rewarded. Here's the other thing we know. If you're not in it for the long haul, 10 years, 5 years, pretty safe, 10 years, more safe. Obviously, the longer, the better. But if you're not wanting to hold it through that period of time, if you're not willing to go through the hassles, the rigmarole, the whatever, if you want out in 5 years or less for sure, run, right? Because we know what the prices are now. We know what to expect. You know that, well, you might not get tippy top, highest ever prices. You're still going to get a pretty high price. And we don't know what tomorrow's pricing is going to be. Matter of fact, we expect some softening. So if you're not in it for a long haul, here we go. Run. Simple as that. Send an email, info@smartbeachinvestor.com. This is what we do. We help folks like you maximize your position. Whether you're in for the long haul or if you're running. Info@smartbeachinvestor. This is what we do. We can help you out. Okay? So that's what's going on this week. Staying power, big thing. Buy and hold, big thing. Okay? There's still good stuff out there. Just going to have to wait for it and ride it out. Okay, that's it. We'll see you next week. Something could be different for sure. Have a great week, everyone.